Who is a bad guy in history who actually wasn't a bad guy? Brutus. He's gone down as committing one of history's greatest betrayals, but in fact, he came from a family that had toppled dictators and at a critical moment chose his republican ideals over a man he personally loved, who had sparked a civil war with an illegal invasion of Italy and was unquestionably acting like an autocrat. Your like and subscription will really help my channel. Niccolo Machiavelli, one of the most honest dudes in history, and his name is instead synonymous with villainy. Machiavelli didn't invent the idea of lying or ruthlessness. He made an observation about what worked and tried to get a new gig. Now his name is synonymous with heartless manipulator. In Braveheart, William Wallace gets betrayed by Robert the Bruce, which never happened. He was loyal to the end. That Roman that gave Jesus vinegar to drink. Turns out that the Roman military gave their soldiers a water and vinegar mix to drink as it was good for refilling salt levels after sweating. That means all the Roman did was give Jesus a sip of his own drink, not force him to drink vinegar as punishment or insult. People outside Romania have a negative attitude towards Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Dracula, but in Romania, everyone loves him. He was a fighter against the Turkish occupation and a national hero. Khrushchev was actually the bigger man during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He initiated the negotiations and even let Kennedy look like the hero by keeping America's side of the bargain secret, not to mention all the measures he took afterwards to prevent something like it from happening again. The Roman Emperor Gaius Caesar, better known as Caligula, hell of a smear campaign his enemies did, most likely brought upon himself because of his intolerance to the Senate's corruption and lack of effectiveness. The crazy stories, most likely made up or were willful misrepresentation of something Caligula said. The story about him making his horse consul because he was crazy, misrepresentation of him mocking the Senate by telling them his horse could do a better job. In the film Titanic, the character Murdoch killed someone, took bribes, and generally came across as a right shit. He was a real-life person who was actually a hero and saved many lives. His living relatives were so outraged that Fox's vice president traveled to Dalbeattie to personally apologize and create a scholarship in Murdoch's memory. Darius III and Xerxes, they're portrayed badly because of Alexander the Great and also the movie 300. In fact, their empire was quite progressive. When they took over lands, local leaders, customs, and religions did not change. The king sent only advisors on economic and civil matters. The reason they fought the Greeks was because the Asian Greek cities tried to revolt with the support of the city-states from the Greek mainland, which triggered the war. Greek god Hades. He barely cheated on his wife and was loyal. He only kidnapped Persephone because Zeus told him to. He's a good father. He doesn't cause death, only what happens after. People always act like he's evil and malicious, and Western culture has equated Hades with the Christian devil. Monica Lewinsky, she is still under attack from society. It's just appalling that the world blamed a young intern for a sex scandal instead of the powerful, much older president. That woman who spilled McDonald's coffee on her lap. McDonald's propaganda made her out to be a villain who was out to make money. From what I remember, that MacD's location was serving coffee way hotter than they were supposed to, and they knew it. They had been notified of that too, but continued to serve scalding coffee. The woman suffered really serious burns and just asked for medical bills to be paid. A dingo really ate her baby. It's just awful. No one believed that dingoes could kill a person, and the woman was accused of killing her child. In the end, the whole world turned it into a joke. I can't imagine how a woman felt when people around her thought the death of her child was funny. Even Elaine on Seinfeld joked about it. Spain got blamed for the 1918 pandemic because they were the only country honestly reporting on it. Other countries did not want to look weak during the First World War and wouldn't report on it. Turned out that a farm in Kansas and possibly the French trenches were the actual origin. Your like and subscription will really help my channel.